Hello there. Welcome back to the History of Things. It's great to have you with us again on this journey into the past. Today, we're casting our line into a subject that's very close to my heart, something that connects us directly to our most ancient ancestors and the deep, dark waters they explored. We are going to investigate the incredible evolution of the fishing lure. It's more than just a piece of plastic or metal on the end of a line. It's a story of human ingenuity, survival, and our unending fascination with what lurks beneath the surface. So, settle in, and if you enjoy these explorations, do consider subscribing so you don't miss what we uncover next. To find the origin of the lure, we must first look for the origin of the hook. Long before we tried to trick fish with artificial bait, we had to figure out a way to simply hold on to them. They were painstakingly carved from materials like bone shell and animal horns. Imagine the patience required, chipping away at a piece of bone with a flint tool to create a gorge. A straight, double-pointed spike tied in the middle to a line and lodged in a fish's throat when swallowed. They watched the water, noticed what the fish were eating, and began to add attractors to their hooks. Brightly colored pieces of shell would be tied near the hook. The goal was simple: catch the fish's eye. These simple additions transformed a passive tool into an active deception. Consider the materials they had at their disposal. Everything had to come from the immediate environment. The Maori people of New Zealand became masters of this, creating beautiful and deadly lures called pia kahawai from polished paua shell. As human societies spread and diversified, so too did their fishing techniques. The basic concept of the lure was adapted and refined using local materials and knowledge, leading to a fascinating array of designs across the world. In ancient Egypt, detailed tomb paintings depict anglers using rods and what appear to be lures. These early metal lures were likely simple leaf-shaped pieces of metal designed to wobble and flash as they were pulled through the water. Meanwhile, in the northern reaches of Europe, the Vikings and other Nordic peoples were crafting their own unique lures. They were heavy, compact, and built to sink fast. Often, they were adorned with a piece of red cloth or wool, a splash of color that would stand out in the murky depths. Along the northwest coast, tribes like the Tlingit and Haida carved exquisite lures from wood and bone. What this global tour shows us is that there was no single linear path of development. For centuries, lures were largely crafted by individuals for their own use, but the Industrial Revolution changed everything. Mass production became possible, and with it came the opportunity for entrepreneurs to design and sell lures to a wider audience. And it all began with a simple, brilliant accident involving, of all things, a teaspoon. As he watched it sink, he was astonished to see it flutter and wobble, its polished surface catching the sunlight. Before it could disappear into the depths, a large trout shot out from under the boat and grabbed it. He cut the handle off another spoon, drilled a hole in it, and attached a hook. Buell patented his spoon design in 1852, and it became an instant sensation. Silver, copper, brass. The simple spoon became a canvas for innovation, giving birth to iconic lures like the Daredevil, which remains one of the best-selling lures of all time. As the 19th century turned into the 20th, the epicenter of lure innovation shifted firmly to the United States. This was a golden age of creativity, driven by a handful of legendary figures whose names are still revered by anglers. One of the most important was James Hedden of Dowagiac, Michigan. When he tossed a carved frog-like object into the water, a largemouth bass exploded on it. Hedden is credited with creating the first commercially successful topwater plug, his Dowagiac Expert. This was a completely new way of fishing. Another titan of this era was Ernest F. Pfluger of Akron, Ohio. In 1883, he patented a luminous lure painted with phosphorescent paint, one of the first lures designed specifically for night fishing. They invented diving lips, glass eyes, internal rattles, and jointed bodies, an arms race of ingenuity. These wooden plugs were the foundation of modern lure design. For the first half of the 20th century, wood was king. Then, after World War II, a new material emerged that would change the fishing world forever: plastic. It meant complex shapes could be mass-produced quickly, cheaply, and with incredible consistency. The transition to plastic allowed for a level of detail and realism that was impossible with wood. Side by side, a vintage wooden lure, and a modern, hyper-realistic plastic swim bait. In 1949, Nick Cream cooked up vinyl and poured it into a worm-shaped mold, the Cream Wiggle Worm. Anglers discovered that when rigged on a hook, the plastic worm was absolutely deadly. Soft plastics opened a universe of shapes: lizards, crawfish, frogs, grubs, and abstract creature baits. They can be infused with salt and impregnated with scents to make them even more appealing. The plastic era democratized lure fishing. Effective lures became affordable for everyone. Computer-aided design software lets designers test virtual prototypes on screen. They tweak shapes, adjust weight distribution, and run simulations to predict swimming action. 3D printing produces detailed prototypes in hours. Designers can hold and test designs almost immediately. Advanced printing wraps lures in actual baitfish imagery, perfect color patterns, scales, and gill plates. We are now in the age of electronic or smart lures. These are lures embedded with microchips, LEDs, and tiny motors. Some flash strobe lights. Others vibrate and emit low-frequency sounds to call predators from far away. Multi-jointed swim baits swim with pre-programmed motion. Cast and let them swim. So, after this incredible journey through time, from bone hooks to robotic fish, what is the real importance of the fishing lure? Choosing the right lure is not a random act. It's a calculated decision based on water clarity, depth, the time of day, the season, the weather, and the species you're targeting. When you cast a lure, you are testing a hypothesis. You make the cast, work the lure through the target zone, and wait for the result. Each lure in our tackle box holds a memory of a fish caught, or the hope of a fish yet to be caught. There is a famous saying, lures are designed to catch fishermen, not just fish. We become collectors. They are tokens of our past successes and keys to future adventures. From shell, bone, metal, and wood, to plastic and now electronic decoys. Remember, it's the latest chapter in a story tens of thousands of years old. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this journey as fascinating as I did. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a like and be sure to subscribe to The History of Things. Until next time, keep looking, keep questioning, and never lose your sense of wonder. Tight lines.